Over the last few, a couple of years, we've worked with a lot of textile industry, specifically in the spinning sector, trying to understand how data at various levels could be utilized and used for transforming the way the industry sort of manages their energy performance. One of the things that we've seen is that the main purpose of how an energy data analytics strategy should be designed is to do three things and of course do it simultaneously. In is one to be able to assess correctly at different stages. Second is to use automation on reporting so that you do away with a lot of human intervention. And of course, third, which is the final reward stage where you want to predict things based on how much energy consumption would you really be using if you produce X, produce Y, or in a certain situation. Now we look at what are the different kinds of data points that really come from the spinning industry as such. If you were looking at tier one, then probably you're talking about quantity of production in terms of yarn type that you make, production parameters, energy mix, percentage energy distribution, fuel quality, and quantity. But that's if you take it at plant level. If you take it to the second tier, you go with the separate mills within a plant. You're adding up the same for different mills, and then you're also going, process level and sub and mill wise. So essentially, data sets and data points increase, and of course, you need to average and aggregate them. The third is, which is the most advanced, the version where one would like to get to, is to get to the tier three, which is machine level. Now there you have more data points coming. They come from ring frames that you produce, energy that comes from the DV distribution board or machine level. You probably would like to integrate some of the different data source points like temperature, humidity sensors, auxiliary consumption. You have different vendors who provide different data logging facilities to you. So you would like all of that data to come and be used at certain point in time. But one thing we need to know is that is having machine level data always good? How deep you go with your data points in terms of vertical and horizontal spread really depends on at what point you are on your EDA strategy implementation. If you're starting up and you're wanting to do it from tier three, it could very well be a disaster. Now, it's not that data is the only problem. What are the problems that the industries face? In most spinning units, you work with multiple vendors for data aggregation. Someone gives you printer machines, extensions where you get the infrared data. Someone gives you the data to monitor compressed air. Someone gives you data to monitor humidification. They're all different vendors with different interests. Purpose. Most installations that are done in a spinning industry are in isolation. So someone comes to you and say install these printer machines, you would do that. Someone would say that why don't you use this system which can help you manage your compressed air network. So everything is done in isolated manner, and it is not done in an accumulative and inclusive manner. And the third, which is most important, that of course technology can help you reduce human intervention, but the fact is no one can deny the fact that the people are needed to act on the inside. So how ready are they for such a transition? So these three things are also equally important, apart from having a lot of data. Now, how can your organization, if it's a spinning mill or it's a textile mill, can overcome these problems? There are three things that you could do. One, plan well. So if you can plan your implementation journey with clear stage-wise milestones, there's nothing like it. Be very clear about what you want to achieve at which stage. Don't need to hurry too much. That's the second point. Give time. A successful implementation of EDA strategy would need time. It is important that you do not try to hurry up too much. That could be quite disastrous. And the third, as I said, you want to engage people. You will definitely be imparting training to different stakeholders, employees within the organization. But it's important to have them engaged right from the start. This is planning stage to the implementation stage, which is very different actually to the capacity building. Capacity building is important, but engagement of different stakeholders is much more important. If an organization can probably do these three things, they can probably pull off a pretty successful uh, energy data analytics strategy. And needless to say that we have a platform that can sit on top of all the data that you have and provide you actionable insights, which can help you assess, report, and manage your energy performance in a way that's faster, better, and cheaper.